foremost listener participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Coming up next on Talk Today, all you need to know about attending UCCI this September. And later, let's talk about what's on your mind. It's open line, so let's chat about what's making you happy, what's making you angry, or maybe you have some ideas to make life better. UCCI next on Talk Today. Stay
Talk
with
Today
me.
is brought to you by Subway. Open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital. Always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen. Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990. 949-8037 or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed your Constitution Day holiday weekend. You really should have, made the best of it because, well, since January, we've had a holiday basically every month. I think February, we didn't have one. 2 in May, so that made up for February. And an extra one for the election day. But now we have to go all the way to November without a mid-month break. Will we make it, ladies and gentlemen? Well, although I guess a lot of people will be taking their vacation between now and September. And speaking of September, that's the beginning of UCCI's fall term. And this afternoon, we'll get some information for anyone who wants to register for the fall term and something for returning students also. In the studio with me are 2 ladies from UCCI. We have Ashley Smith. She's the admissions manager at UCCI, and Patricia Robinson, UCCI registrar. Ladies, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Welcome here to Talk Today. And this is a big year for UCCI, right?
Yes, celebrating our 50th year.
So I imagine there's been, a lot of changes over that half century.
Yes, we had not been there for all of it, but yes, it has been. Good changes as well.
Yeah. What are some of the major milestones for the college that comes to mind?
Some of the major milestones, we've transformed lives through education. That's our main thing, transforming lives through education. We've graduated Caymanians who are now in government, who are now in finance, tourism, health, and the creative industry. These are all key things that we pride ourselves on, that we have local Caymanians who are graduated from UCCI and are moving into the industry, government here in this country.
Yeah. You have a theme of study local, go global for this registration campaign. What's behind that?
We want people to know and to understand that UCCI, we offer a variety, and we want to equip our students, our Caymanians, or anyone who wants to study at UCCI with the quality education that's comparable to what students might find at respected universities around the world. So studying at UCCI is not just a local thing, right? It's a global thing, because once an education from UCCI can take you just about anywhere in the world.
And a degree from UCCI is recognized by other schools abroad if you want to go on to do doctorate or whatever.
Yes, sir. Most of our students leave with our associate degree from UCCI and go on to universities to do their bachelor level degrees.
Now, Ms. Smith, what do you do as far as student encounters and so forth?
I'm one to actually be the first point of contact. I'm the one that tells you exactly what you have to do in terms of your application, how to complete it, how to make sure that you are following up with all the requirements. But I also just sit down, speak with you, guide you in the direction that you need to for your degree. So say you don't know exactly what you want to do, I would help just with the decision that you want to make. Say a person has a leniency that they want to go into social work or they want to go into social studies, hospitality even, because our country is thriving with that, of course. I will help guide you in the right direction if whichever program you need to get into.
So you do a little counseling there, it sounds like.
Yeah, basically. So my team actually helps me, of course. But if they don't have the right words to actually give to a student, then I'm there to chip in.
Who can attend UCCI?
Anyone, actually. Anyone, everyone. Of course, you have to come out of high school. You can't really come from primary school. But anybody can attend. Any person who is on a work permit, anyone who is just wanting to further their education because they left high school and they wanted to just return in their age 30, 50. It doesn't really matter.
So this registration drive is also for evening classes?
Yes, we do have our evening short course classes. They start from 6 o'clock and they can go up until 9, depending. But they're an hour and a half each day for 2 days a week.
But does a person who wants to attend, do they have to have some kind of grade point average, or there's some kind of admission requirements?
Yes, they do have requirements that they have to make sure that they meet for us. If you're 21 and older, you can submit your job letter. If you're under 21, then you have to have at least 560 passes to get into an associate's. That includes math and English. They have to be within A to C level range, if not a 1 to 3. Say that you don't qualify for an associate's, then we would actually go over everything that we have and see if you can get into a pre-college certificate, a diploma even. We have different options that anyone can actually get into.
So you can actually get a second chance kind of thing.
Yes, basically.
Yes, indeed.
Now, what's the scope of degrees, certificates that are offered?
Really right now we have social sciences, social studies, social work, my bad. Hospitality management, we have it in hotel, food and beverage, culinary arts is our newest one. Business administration, accounting, we have a wide array, even computer science.
And the degrees?
We also have, to add to what Ms. Ashley just spoke about, we also have our certificate and diploma programs for someone who may not they want to go right into work. So that we have hospitality, we have I can't think of the words. Spa services. They have spa services. We have some culinary certificates as well. We have general business. So for those who want to just get a certificate, go right into work, those options are available to them as well. So we have the certificate, diploma, associate level degrees, bachelor level degrees, and we also have postgraduate degrees as well, up to a master's degree at this moment.
Well, up to master's.
Yes, in our business studies department.
All right, we're going to take a little commercial break here, but we'll be right back and we'll hear more about UCCI.
Hungry? Need Subway any time of the day?
Yeah.
We've got you covered. Subway at Anderson Square, Centennial Towers, and Countryside Shopping Village is open 24/7, serving up fresh, delicious subs anytime you need them. And for your weekend cravings, West Shore Center is also open 24 hours on Friday nights and until 1 a.m. on Saturdays, because it's never too late for a great meal. Skip the line and order ahead with the Subway Cayman Islands app, or get your favorites delivered straight to your door with Bento and Let's Eat. Fresh, fast, and always here when you need us. Subway, eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning.
Ouch!
When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we're hearing about UCCI's fall term and being able to register and take courses at UCCI. And I see on the list here you also have TVET.
Yes.
Courses. That TVET stands for
Technical Vocational, making sure I have this right, Technical Vocational Educational Training.
So what sort of things can students study in your TVET courses?
In TVET, we can have them study HVAC, which is air conditioning and refrigeration.
That's very vital in Cayman.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
We can also have them study electrical installations, plumbing, construction, technology, solar, photovoltaic, if I can say that correctly. We also have project management for construction workers or supervisors who are interested in doing this. We go from levels 1 to 3, varying on the different ones, like air conditioning or that specific one. It goes from level 1 up until 3. If the student has any experience, we can interview for them.
It's someone coming out of your TVET programs, I mean, they would be qualified to just go get a job straight out of school?
Yes, they can. I know that there are requirements in Cayman that they have to meet, of course.
Get a license for some of these
Correct.
things and all that, right?
Yes.
And maybe serve as an apprentice or something
Correct.
like that. So what are the deadlines that people have to hold in mind to register?
Currently, right now, it's August the 1st. We try to do it at least 4 weeks prior to the new semester start, which starts on September the 1st. So at least they have until 11:59 at night to actually complete their application. If they wanted to, they can always come to the university and just speak with us before actually starting it. And we can actually help them start it as well, just to have an idea of where to go.
Do you recommend that they come and just kind of just familiarize themselves?
Yes, most definitely, especially if you're just new to everything and you want to know exactly what UCCI has to offer. Definitely come and speak with us.
Okay, so after that, then what's the first step to really get things rolling?
The first step is mostly just speak with an enrollment advisor, and then we can start the application with them. They can just ensure that they have their documentation, of course. But if I'm missing out on anything, Miss Patricia.
No, she's right on track as far as, first and foremost, completing an application. Our application is available online on our website, and that will guide you through what documents may even be needed to come prepared with that act to be accepted into the university. Once you are accepted and get your credentials for the university, then you're able to start registering for actual classes at the university.
Okay. And any more red letter dates that they should hold in mind?
Let's keep in mind the semester starts August 1st, We do have a new student enrollment week that'll be happening on campus, which is August 25th to the 29th. That's usually reserved for our new students coming from out of high school, SciFect, and what have you. But anyone, any new student, a person who has not ever been a student at UCCI, that week is designated just for them. We can complete their applications if they've started it or they need to start an application, and we have everybody in the hall. We have a hall or gymnasium at the campus, and we'll all be in that gymnasium to process people as quickly and as smoothly as possible during that week for new students. Our returning students would be the week before, but for new students, August 25th to the 29th.
Okay. So, what you said, new students are the week before that?
Returning students. Students are current students.
Returning.
We're giving them a week to just come to the university. Right now, they can actually self-register with our new portal that we have, our new system that we have. However, if they need to come to the university, the week of August 18th to the 22nd, we'll have advisors. Their faculty advisors will be on hand. We'll be on hand, and they can register for classes on the spot there with us as well if they're having any difficulties with the online portal.
So this is a brand new website that you have?
It is. We've had our revamped website. Our website was redone. We have a new website and a new student information system at the same time. So a lot of newness going on at UCCI, which we're extremely happy about. But for the past year, our students have been registering and using our new system, our new student information system called JICS or Genzabar, to self-register for classes once you're an actual student at the university. And so we're giving them a week where they can come on campus, meet with their faculty advisor, student life advisor, and get some things sorted before the new students come in the following week.
Okay. And I imagine this updated portal makes things a lot easier.
Yes.
You said that with like relief.
Yes, it does. We're trying to get people to self-serve as much as possible where they can. And then, of course, not everyone can for various reasons. And the UCCI staff is there to assist and do what we can to help others along the way.
And what, for those students who may need some financial help, where can they turn?
We definitely have assistance. We have some great donors here in Cayman who have contributed to a wide bucket of funds that are available for scholarships. We have a wide portfolio. We have merit-based and needs-based assessments awards that are awarded for students. We do have the application online as well for them to fill out for any type of scholarships. We do ask this. The deadline is 4 weeks before the start of the semester, so that'll be about August 1st or so will be the deadline for new scholarships. But our donors, such as, let me name a few of them if I can, we have the Carol Winker Memorial, the Joyce Hilton and Peter N. Thompson scholarships for the arts and humanities. We have Health City for our STEM and Rotary Sunrise Scholarship Fund for some students. And we have our industry-linked awards such as Consolidated Water, Polar Bear, Air Conditioning, or the Michael Godfrey Vocational Scholarship. So there's lots of different scholarships available, and they're all on our website as well. You can read what the requirements are and see if that applies to you. And then you can go ahead and click that button and apply for those scholarships.
Now, those scholarships, they'll have multiple recipients? Or
yes. Let's say, for example, we have $25,000 in a bucket for one particular scholarships. We'll see how much of that we can divvy out to people, and each person get based on their need. If it's needs-based or merit-based, they have a scale. The people in our office who works with the scholarship, they have a scale and criteria that they gauge those awarding amounts to the students.
And I imagine you also have the government scholarships also,
yes.
right?
Yes, those deadlines come through the government. There are students, they apply for those directly through the government. These are scholarships that they can apply through UCCI. The government scholarships are on their website. I'm not sure of the exact deadlines for those government scholarships. Are you familiar with those right now?
They would have actually closed by now.
Would have closed by now for government scholarships. So next year, definitely they can look at the deadlines for those to apply for government scholarships. But yes, we do accept government scholarships as well at UCCI.
So these scholarships you were talking about, these are directly with the university. You control the deadlines and so forth.
Based on the donors' recommendations or requirements. These are private scholarships that they've donated to the university that we can now help students who may need the assistance for scholarships.
That scholarship, now, what does that include?
It depends on the scholarship. Some of them may be just for tuition. Some may be for tuition and books. It all depends on the scholarship that the donor has stated in their requirements or their stipulations, their criteria. So that's why it would be prudent for people to look at our website to see the different scholarships and see what the requirements are for each particular scholarship they may qualify for.
Well, I guess one of the advantages of going to UCCI, you don't have, as opposed to abroad, you don't have housing expenses and that sort of thing.
No, we don't. No, we're not a housing university. But no, it's a definitely our fees would just be tuition, any technical fees, and then books would be the main fees they have to concern themselves with at UCCI.
You have quite a few students coming from the BRAC?
Well, we have a campus on the BRAC
Okay.
as well. That's primarily houses our DE students from the high school there. But we do have some adult learners that go through there as well. They connect to us via online with our campus here in the Cayman Island, in Grand Cayman.
What's campus life on UCCI? I mean, I know you don't have dorms and stuff like that, but...
No, we have, our student life department tries to make it as engaging as we possibly can for our students. We want them to still be a vibrant community. We still want students to have that joy that I'm going to a university, right? So we try to make it as vibrant as possible and as engaging as possible. They have clubs, we have sports that come through there. We have a lot of different activities they can get involved in on the campus as well. So they can get that feel of being on a university for those who are preparing to go away. This is a preparatory basis for them, I would say, at this point.
So has UCCI been, what I'm not sure the word I'm looking for, but more accepted as a place to go now? It's not like, well, oh, gee, I'm going to University of Miami, or you're going to UCCI.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
That's our goal. We want people to understand, if you want to save some money those first 2 years of university, by all means, you have a university in your own backyard that is here for you. And so you can definitely come to UCCI, do your first 2 years, or even your entire bachelor degree here at UCCI. But it's a cost saving as well, because when you do go abroad, you're going to have those dorm fees or those transportation fees and all the other fees they add on. But we are here in the community. We have wonderful instructors, and our curriculum is top rated. So we're trying to do everything we can so that students understand that you can indeed study right here locally and go far in wherever your endeavors may take you.
Okay. What is the accreditation of the college?
We are accredited by, let me make sure I get this correctly, it's ABET, I believe it's called. Don't quote me on this exactly, but I can get that for you in just a moment. But we are accredited, and we have programmatic accreditation as well. Our business school is accredited. Our nursing school is accredited. So we have programmatic accreditation as well as university accreditation as well. And I will definitely look that up for you right now to get the exact wording of that.
Because that is important if you want to transfer or
Yes.
you want to leave there and go with another degree, right?
Exactly, yes.
And we've had many students who have come through at UCCI that have gone on to, whether it's in England, Canada, or the U.S., where the degrees have been accepted. Our credits have been transferable to those countries as well.
All right. Let's take a little break here, and we'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And on Talk Today, we are hearing about UCCI and people who want to go to school there beginning in September. We're getting all the information that you would need. And just before the break, you were looking up the accreditation.
Yes. Thank God for technology, right? So, yes, we are accredited by ASIC, actually, which is the Accreditation Service for International Schools based out of the UK. Our College of Business Studies, they're accredited by IACBE, that's out of the U.S. And then we also have our nursing school, which is accredited by the Nursing Council of Jamaica. And then our TVET program we talked about a little while ago, most of those are accredited by NCCER for their standards as well.
The nursing school is relatively new, right?
No, actually, it's maybe about 10 years now.
10 years?
At least, but then again, I could get the dates wrong. So.
Okay, but how is that doing?
It's doing well. Our nursing students, they just got a full pass for all of their graduating students. I believe it was this past year. They just graduated. All of the nursing candidates passed their exams, so they're going to be looking for work soon. So hospitals out there, offices out there, hire your UCCI graduates. But they're doing really well. It was just renamed. Recently, I think it was the end of last year, it was renamed. And so we have the nursing program, one of our flourishing programs as well.
Now let's go into some of the detail of the scholarships that you mentioned. I mean, some of them have some requirements.
Yes. So as I started to mention, we do offer a broad portfolio, merit-based and needs-based, and is usually accepted year-round and closing at least 4 weeks prior to the start of any semester. So current and incoming Caymanian students who maintain at least a 2.5 GPA, we have some technical awards, and some of them require a 2.0 GPA, but you can apply online through our website for more information to get your information uploaded to any supporting documents you may need for the scholarship as well. I believe you have to write a personal statement explaining your need or what have you. And most of our awards, they do cover tuition, books, and fees. And many offer internships as mentoring. So these are donors are also giving back by mentoring our students and giving them internships as well. So, you have to get your transcript together, any Caymanian status documents, and that personal statement to submit your application for a scholarship.
Does this school continue to grow? I mean, year over year?
We've been seeing some growth. We just finished our fall semester where we had over 1,300 students that came through for that semester. And the summer semester, we actually have 2 semesters now in the summer, which started last year. We have a summer 1 and a summer 2. Just this summer 1, May to about June, we had close to 1,000 students that were there for just those short weeks, those 7 weeks of courses. We're now in our summer 2 semester, which started July 1st, and we have about 145 students. This is a shorter semester, and so we weren't expecting too many, but even that has grown because last year we only had about 98 students in our summer 2 program semester, and this year we had 145. So the word is getting out, and we're growing semester to semester, especially these summer semesters are a chance for students to just take extra courses if they need to, or to retake some courses potentially as well.
Tell us a little bit about your evening programs that I guess are aimed at working people.
Yes. Do you want to go from there?
You can start and I can add on.
So we have our evening program. Similar to our daytime program, we do understand people work, and they may only be allowed or able to attend classes in the evening. So we do have a wealth of classes that are offered in the day, and we have their counterparts offered in the evening as well for our associate's degree. It may not be the entire same courses, but we have that available to them. We also have our certificate program for those who are more industry focused. Those are offered in the evening times as well. And again, as Ashley stated earlier, usually starting about the 4:30, 5 o'clock time frame and goes till about 9 o'clock in the evening, depending on what's available.
Now, I've heard of a lot of people taking advantage of that.
And it's a good source. Going to school in the evening, nothing is wrong with that. You have a life. You're now adulting, right? And so you have responsibilities, whether it's your job, your family, children, whatever it may be. And so we make it as available as possible for students to still work, take care of family, but still they have that goal of getting a degree. So we want to make sure that we offer that to them as well, the best way we can. And so we offer these evening courses to accommodate those students as well.
Yeah, I know someone that I think she went all the way to her master's, but she took all evening classes. Yep. She worked and went to school, and came out at the end with the master's degree. And I think she's
dedication.
I think she's like running some department in government now or something.
That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. Perseverance, hanging in there, taking it one step at a time, getting those classes in. You may not be able to get a full load in the evening, but knocking some out. You'd be surprised how quickly that time goes by, and before you know it, you're like, oh, I've completed everything. I'm ready to graduate, right? So just keep at it. Don't give up. It can be done.
I mean, it takes some discipline and dedication, though.
Definitely. Anything worth having is going to take discipline and persistence in that. And so education takes you far. And it's good to be educated. And when you have that degree, you can be proud that you've studied for it. You've put in the work to earn it. And so definitely don't give up. You guys can do it.
Now, I know you said that you do a little counseling sometimes when students are coming in. But is there a department or a person who is actually dedicated to that?
Yes, we do have our faculty members. After we counsel the students to come in, then they have their dedicated academic advisor who will be able to actually say, these are the courses to take for the next 2 years. If they need any other advice, then they're there all year round as well. Other than the summer, of course, we take breaks. But they're there whenever they need them, especially via email, via phone call, or anything like that.
So a person who's having some trouble, maybe, like you're saying, maintaining the discipline or something, they can go and get some advice, some help.
Yes, we have our faculty academic advisors available for that, as well as we have our student life advisors. Our student life department is there to assist students who may find it difficult at different stages of their education. So they have different things that they can offer to them, different services, tutoring or counseling. They have different things in our student life department as well that's available. So we try to make it a holistic approach for our students so that we can make sure we're there for them to help them on this journey to graduate.
So let's go over some of the things in case someone joined us late, as far as what new students must start getting in line now if they want to attend in September?
I'll start off. New students must complete an application online, visit our website to complete that application, upload any documents, and then our admissions manager and her team will guide them through the process of making sure that they can get accepted to the university. Once they've been accepted to the university, we then give them our UCCI credentials, student ID, and so forth, and they can then register for classes. And for that first semester, the team does help. They do help them with registering for that initial first semester before they're handed off to their academic and student life advisors.
Okay. Anything to add to that, Liz?
Really and truly, if you need anything from me, you can contact us by email, which is admissions@ucci.edu.ky. If not, give us a call at 623-8224, extension number 1.
And what are the important dates again?
The important dates for returning students to come into UCCI, in any case they need assistance with registering, is August 25th to, August 18th to the 22nd for returning students. Our new students who are coming in, they would have a designated week of August 25th to the 29th.
So you're trying to make this as easy as possible for students.
Yes, yes. We really want to transition them very smoothly back into the university, of course.
And really, there's no real admission requirements as once you have come out of high school?
Not really, but we do try to look at everything, just everything that the student has actually gone through. Say they're over the age of 21, they can come in through our admissions criteria as a mature student. Say that they're just coming out of high school, then we look at their external passes. It's any means as necessary for them to be 100% accepted. We will look at every possible way.
Okay. Tell us a little bit, sell the program for me.
UCCI?
Yeah.
Listen.
Why come to UCCI?
UCCI is our homegrown university. It is a place where you're going to get a quality education from our educators. You're going to get service from our staff as well to make you feel that sense of belonging and to know that you are a part of a community of educators. And you are going to feel, what's the word I'm looking for? You're going to feel encouraged. You're going to feel proud to say that you have graduated from a university in your home country of the Cayman Islands. And so UCCI is a place to be. As we said, our theme this year is Study Local, Go Global. You know, we can start here and you can spread your wings wherever you want to go and never lose track or never lose your Caymanian roots.
Any star graduates, alumni that you would point to?
Ooh, we can't start calling names right now.
But there might...
All of our graduates are stars. They all excel in their own way. We've had many who have gone on to do wonderful things in the community, in government, abroad even. So our university, we are putting out, graduating some students of excellent caliber. And so we are proud of each and every one of our graduates as they take what they've learned at UCCI and be the future, the next generation of leaders. And that's what we're developing at UCCI.
A lot of people have gone on to do their own businesses and stuff like that too.
We've had some of that, yes. We've had I don't want to start calling names, you're going to get me in trouble. But yes, many have done their own businesses. They've learned how to manage that, how to do that, what it all requires, and have come back and serviced UCCI as a vendor. So they're giving back to where they've gotten their education as well. So we do have many in that boat, yes.
All right, well, Ashley Smith and Patricia Robinson, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about the registration at UCCI. And remember, if you intend to go, August 18th to the 22nd is for returning registration. August 25th to the 29th, admission of new student enrollment week on the campus. I hope you have a very successful term.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
All right. It is coming up on 1 o'clock here on Talk Today, so time for us to check in with the newsroom.
One radio station.
Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
In a live press conference underway as we speak, the Minister for Caymanian Employment and Training, the Honourable Michael Miles, said increasing the minimum wage is about uplifting families in real, tangible ways and pulling our people up from poverty to the middle class. In January, the minimum wage will increase from $6 per hour to $8.75 an hour. An estimated 2,000 Caymanians and 8,000 guest workers are expected to benefit from the move. In international headlines, crews used backhoes and their bare hands today to dig through piles of debris that stretched for miles in the search for more than 160 people believed to be missing in flash floods in the Texas Hill Country. More than 100 bodies have been recovered clear some 5 days after the disaster. The U.S. is having its worst year for measles spread in more than 3 decades, with a total of 1,288 cases nationally and another 6 months to go in the year. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention said today that the national case count surpassed 2019, when there were 1,274 cases for the year, and the country almost lost its status of having eliminated the vaccine-preventable illness. That could happen this year if the virus has nonstop spread for 12 consecutive months. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
James Nathaniel Tibbetts, J.P., 1886 to 1967. Mr. Nat Tibbetts was a renowned shipbuilder, businessman, justice of the peace, and citizen of Cayman. He was loved and respected throughout the island and was often consulted by people facing crucial decisions and difficulties. With his father, James Tibbetts, and his brothers, Burdett and Ross, he built and sold 11 sailing ships during the early 1900s. After losing his right arm in his mid-40s due to fish bristle infection and the death of his brothers, Mr. Nat operated a store and pioneered in the production of soft drinks, supplying all 3 Cayman Islands for almost 25 years. His plantations provided employment for others and provisions for his and his brother's family. Mr. Nat was a role model for his sons and other young men of the community, teaching them, along with the principles of carpentry, boat building, navigation, and seamanship, a good work ethic and the value of respect and perseverance. He and his beloved wife, Elsie Nee Hunter, with whom he had 7 children, set high standards for their family by emphasizing a Christian lifestyle.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
We are now in the hurricane season, and to survive a hurricane, you need to be informed. If you have been informed by official sources that a hurricane is approaching the Cayman Islands, and you live in a low-lying area that is prone to flooding or near the beaches, which may be swept by high tides or storm waves, please seek a safe place and high ground. If the only way for you to get to a safe place is a road that is also likely to be flooded during a storm, please leave home early. Don't run the risk of being stranded. This has been a public service announcement from your community station, Radio Cayman.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Ooh, welcome back to Talk Today. Well, National Weather Service says it's 90 degrees up at Owen Roberts Airport and it feels like 102. And what do we have? Wind out of the south-southeast at 6.4 knots, and the forecast through this evening and into the night calls for thunderstorms. Yes, it's that time of year, I guess. Always on the outlook for some weather around the place. If you want to give me a call, want to chat, well, you can pick up the phone call on 1-800-534-8255. That's compliments of Flo. 949-8037. Or 949-6990, and if you prefer the WhatsApp, 925-3261. That's WhatsApp. And, one thing that's great that happens in Cayman in the summertime is the traffic clears up. I'm always amazed at the difference in traffic when school is out. I've been coming in earlier this week to my office at I Read for Life Center right there in Huldah Avenue, and I'm getting in there at about 8 o'clock, coming from Prospect in about, 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Amazing at that time of morning, really. It's almost like you're driving in the middle of the day. So if you want to ease up the traffic, I guess we just close school. Yep, close the schools, traffic clears up, teach the kids on Zoom, right? Keep them home. Well, I guess that didn't work out too well. I was just, who's going to stay with them? Well, you have your own little camera. Keep an eye on them at work. That didn't work out too well on COVID, I guess. But, we can get the kinks out of it, clear up that traffic. You can drive at 40 miles an hour at 8 o'clock in the morning, get into town real quick. Usually you're going about, 2 miles an hour? We have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. How are you doing?
Not too bad. I just have a concern. I work in the hotel industry, right?
Uh-huh.
And I've been with them almost 3.5 years now. So I know it's slow season, but I don't understand. I have Caymanian kids to feed.
Right.
They cut my hours, and I went to them. I said, I have kids to feed. I have one just graduate from UCCI doing his associate. My daughter in.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. She just graduated. I have 2 graduations. One graduate from Georgetown and one graduate. I said, how I'm going to feed my kids with sitting home. The lady is telling me, in the HR, I have to go to NUA. I said, no, NUA is not for me. I'm strong. I can work. NUA is for older people who cannot work at all, don't have a source income. You don't tell me to go to NUA. I'm not from here. I'm from Jamaica, and my kids are Caymanian, and I have rights to work anywhere I can work. So you don't tell me that. I need more hours so I can take care of my kids fully. Sir, in the hotel, they have the work permit holder. You know what they did to me? They make us train for the position, and then they use another girl to send into immigration and get her permit amended and give her the chef position and put me behind in the cafeteria.
So that was a position that you had been trained for?
Yes, sir. And they what they did, because they said, oh, the girl was there before me, and she's a permit holder. She don't have the experience. They train her and amend her permit and give her the position and put me where they take she from.
And that you have Cayman status, or you have a right to work?
Right to work, sir.
Well, maybe you should go down to the work office.
And then when I told them, I said, I don't think this is right. They said, oh, you are not Caymanian, you just have right to work. I said, and then asking me if I can work that position. I said, my residents with right to work do not have a limit on it. I can work anywhere as long as I qualify for the job. What you guys do is wrong.
Well, have you taken this complaint down to work, WORC?
No, sir.
I would go there and complain.
They let me have 4 days straight, sir.
But
so
and what is the other person working? The person who took the job you were trained for. How many days are they working?
They work full shift and get more pay than me.
I would definitely go and complain to WORC.
Yes, sir. And she been in that position This is what they did in the hotel. If you ask them, it's like they want you to beg them for. I see permit holder come here on our they're doing server, and when you look, they have them as chef. They just keep moving them from one position, and you are here. You're not getting the hours. They have them morning and evening working, and I go to them. I said, "What happened? Can I get extra hours like them?" Oh, no, they are here for a long time before you and blah. I said, no, but I have rights to work and I have kids here to feed. The bill expensive. I don't go to government for help. I can work and take care of my kids. If you want to go and get another job out there, this is what I'm told in the HR. If you want to go and get another job out there, there is nothing we can do without it. Okay, I'm going to say the name. Indigo. They open Indigo.
Well,
Indigo,
easy on the name, because then that gets into a lot of difficulties. But I would say go and complain to the people at the work permit office, WORC work.
Okay.
Okay, because they can do something about it. They can investigate it, and if because I would certainly think that when it comes to you understand about reducing people's hours because they don't have the guests at this time that they would have in January.
Yes.
But you would certainly come first if you have a right to work.
Yes.
Over a permit holder. So
they're not giving it, but they're giving the work permit holder. That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. And you would have preference, I would think. If you have a right to work, they should cut the work permit holder's hours before they cut your hours.
Yes, sir.
So I would go and down there to WORC and complain about this.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Well, good luck.
Yes.
Well, I that's not the first person that I've heard about, having that sort of problem, and it doesn't seem to me that would be fair at all. That she would have her hours cut before a work permit holder would have their hours cut. Of course, then, if they're cutting the work permit holders' hours, they might have to explain to the work office why they need the permit. So that might be the catch there. There's a lot of different things that are complicated in those situations, and what the real motivation is. Well, some interesting data has come out from the Economic and Statistics Office. They've published the Cayman Islands Quality of Life Survey from the fall of 2024. The fall. That's always an interesting thing in Cayman when you say the fall. Do we have autumn? I know people say we have a spring too. The spring this or that, the spring that. When all the blossoms come out. Maybe that's mango season or something like that. But anyway, they've published their stats. And let's... one of them is let's take a look at this other one here that they have. The unemployment rate for the last 6 months of 2024. The headline is unemployment rate for the last 6 months of 2024 is 2.4%. And some of the things in there says the labor market estimates from the Labor Force Survey, LFS, fall 2024 show the unemployment rate, and that is the proportion of unemployment persons to the total labor force, is 2.4%. And the total labor force increased by 0.5% to reach 60,828 people in the labor force. The employed labor force was estimated at 59,393. That's an increase of 1.5 compared to fall 2023. The number of unemployed persons last year in the last 6 months was estimated at just over 1,400. The number of employed Caymanians estimated at almost 21,500, and that reflects a decline of 0.3% compared to 2023. The number of unemployed Caymanians decreased 8.3% to 1,048 persons in the fall of 2024, resulting in an unemployment rate of 4.6%, and that's lower than the 5% in the last 6 months of 2023. And they have a population estimate. The Labor Force Survey report also has a population estimate in the Cayman Islands as of December 2024. This grew by 4.8% above the fall 2023 figure, 4.8%. And it has reached 88,833. That's December 2024. 88,833. And we have to assume it's grown some more. So we're closing in on that 100,000. The Caymanian population rose by 4% to 40,633. And the permanent resident population reached 8,184. That's compared to 7,690 in 2023. The non-Caymanian population is estimated at 40,016, call it 40,000, an increase of 5.4% relative to the estimated population of fall 2023. So looks like we're getting closer and closer to that 100,000 mark as our population. And if we're growing at, 4 or 5%, it's not going to be long before we hit it. The ESO, Economics and Statistics Office, also released their Quality of Life score, or rather the Quality of Life survey. And that measures how people are satisfied with different aspects of Cayman life. I think this is their second one that they've done. But this one says the Cayman Islands Quality of Life, QOL, was assessed through a comprehensive survey with the score standing at 82.9%. That people are satisfied. 82.9% of those surveyed are satisfied with the general overall picture in Cayman. This represents a slight decrease of 0.7%, and that's compared to the spring 2024. And the overall QOL score for Caymanians was 81, compared to the general one of 82.9. Caymanians were 81.8% satisfied with life in Cayman. I know Cayman News Service, they took a tact of, I think their headlines was, expats enjoy life more than locals. And it is, I guess technically true. Not, I don't think it's by a whole lot of difference, but there's a few percentage, 1 or 2 percentage points difference there. Taking a look at this, the Cayman Islands Quality of Life Report. Let's see here. Let's go through some things. The Cayman Islands Quality of Life scores health and wellness, and that's was rated by those who responded as the most important, and I would certainly think so. Health and wellness. They say if you got your health, you got everything. And the score for health and wellness was 84.8%. And that differed from the spring survey in 2024, plus 0.3. Employment and job quality, 80.6 overall. People were satisfied with employment and job quality. Caymanians as a segment, slightly less at 79.8%. Material living conditions, 84.7%. And Caymanian segment, 84, flat. So just a little variation there, a little less. Economic and physical safety, 85.7% satisfaction. And the Caymanian segment, 84.3. Leisure and social activities, 80.7% satisfaction with that work and social leisure time balance, 80.7 overall, and pretty much the same in the Caymanian segment, 80.5. Natural and living environment, people that concerns the environmental preservation, green space, that sort of thing. 75.4% for natural living and environment, 75.4 overall, and Caymanians thought they were 74.5%. So some of the things looking a little closer, health and wellness took a look at health services and conditions, skills and competence of staff, and skills and competence in staff, 89%. Overall cleanliness of facility, 93%. The treatment and medicine prescribed, 89% satisfied. Employment and job quality, relevant employment skills. That means your skills and your jobs are matching, 89%. 89% there. And Ken's at 90% satisfied with job matching. Qualified for a current job, overall 78. 79 in the Cayman segment. Salary and benefits package. Well, everybody wants some more money, right? Well, everybody's looking for a raise. Salary and benefits package, 60% overall, almost 61. The Caymanian segment, 58.8%. Economic and physical safety. Ever lived in poverty? Had kind of trying on this. Ever lived in poverty? 75% satisfied that they've ever lived in poverty. The Caymanian segment, 71%. So those are some of the details in this survey. Here's what: natural and living environment, waste management institutions, 62% satisfied overall. Caymanian segment said 56% satisfied. Recycling practices, 51 overall, 46 in the Cayman segment. Household disaster preparedness, adequate disaster supplies, 86% overall. And the same in the Cayman segment. So, yeah, well, be prepared for something to happen. A hurricane comes through. You better be prepared for that. It was an interesting thing, though, when they broke down the districts, right? And, well, of course, all the districts had health as the most important thing. But I was noticing North Side and East End, they ranked things like economic and physical safety, leisure and social activities, natural and living environment. They gave them more priority than the other districts because a lot of the total, like say leisure and social activity, overall was 10. North Side and East End. North Side was 15, and East End 11. So they take their leisure and social activities more seriously in North Side and East End. And natural and living environment, they also gave more priority to that. North Side 15, East End 11, whereas Georgetown had a 9 for that, and so did West Bay. So North Side and East End, they like their natural living. So they like to kick back and really take in the island style. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Well, what is on your mind? Give me a call. We can talk about some things here. The police are having they're doing their own survey. They want to know, what you think of how well they're doing. And if you want to check that out, you can go to Facebook. The Royal Cayman Islands Police Service has a Facebook page there. And it says the RCIPS wants to hear from you. I know you like to call in here sometimes and give your opinion of the job the police are doing. But now you can tell them directly. It says, we have launched a public survey aimed at gathering feedback from the community about policing in the Cayman Islands. This initiative is part of our continued commitment to transparency, accountability, and community-led policing. Share your views and help shape the future of police services. And you can go straight to their survey right there from the Facebook page. And, they ask you various things, your age and whether you're Caymanian or some other nationalities, what district you live in, how long you've been here, whether you were born and raised here, and how safe you feel, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how visible or present do you believe the RCIPS is in within your community, and you can let them know there. Says, here's one question. To what extent do you agree with the following statement? The RCIPS acts in the public's best interest. Strongly agree, somewhat agree, neither agree nor disagree, somewhat disagree. So you can make your thoughts known on things such as that. If you want to talk about that now, you can also give me a call about how you think the police are doing. But this would be a very important survey to take part in, because that would give them some direct feedback to do it, and it doesn't ask for any names or anything like that. So you can go to Facebook and let them know your opinion of the kind of job that they're doing. And, in any community, being a policeman, providing police service, that's not an easy job. You face all sorts of situations, and I know I hear people talking about, well, the police are always asking us to give them the information. Aren't they the ones that are supposed to have the detectives and do their work and find out the information? But the public is who people get their information from. So they always need help of the community in order to do their job. And sometimes it's as if people believe that the police also can be everywhere at one time. That's why they need the help of the community as far as getting information and so forth. But they certainly cannot be every place at one time. And that's when people take advantage of the situation, I think. We did have some news coming out the other day from Parliament where there is a problem with budgeting and recruiting and having enough personnel to really cover the areas that they need to be covering. So we'll see what's going to be happening as we hear from the government about their plans, because certainly safety and security is something that is always at the top of the list. And I know sometimes that you have to, share up the money as best you can and put it where you have the priorities. And sometimes, even though something is needed, you can't, get everything that you absolutely want or need. And we have to cut some corners. But I know that being safe, and that's part of that quality of life survey, was that there was how safe do you feel in Cayman? And being safe in Cayman has given us a great reputation. It's part of the success of our tourism product. When people come here, they can walk along West Bay Road in the tourism district, and they feel relatively safe. It's one of the safest. I've gone to a number of cities in my lifetime, and let me tell you, Cayman has got to be one of the safest places there is. You can go to a lot of places and, you just have to watch where you are, what road you turn down. And if you don't know the area, you better get some information before you go out on the street. We do have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. Glidden.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Okay, and you?
I'm doing all right, man. What's on your mind today?
Well, I heard you speaking about the population. 8,000. And
closing in on that 100,000.
Yeah, we are in hurricane season now. And when it comes to the hurricane shelters, and the amount of people that might need to use these shelters because of where they're staying might be a low-lying area that might cause a lot of flooding where they're staying, or the buildings that they're staying in might not be stable, which means that there are a lot of people that might need these shelters at this time.
Mm-hmm.
With a greater amount of people than before because of the population being almost probably 25,000 people more than what we had before living on the island.
Yeah, from Ivan days.
Yes. So if the government are using the same shelters with a bigger population, how is it that all these people are going to be able to stay in these hurricane shelters without being overcrowded?
Yeah,
How is that possible?
I don't know. I don't know whether any space has increased or not since Ivan. The last, 21 years now. Maybe John Gray High School may have increased. I think those schools are used as shelters. There might have been an increase in space there. But that's the only place that I can think off the top of my head that would have brought more space for hurricane shelters. I don't know about that church in Bodden Town. But yeah, if the population is increased that much, certainly we need more space for hurricane shelters.
Yeah, and speaking of the church in Bodden Town,
mm-hmm.
The foundation of that church is level with the ground.
That big one?
Oh,
that one that was it was kind of stopped for a while. The one that they said could be used for a hurricane shelter. I'm talking about the one that was being built now.
You talking about the one that is close by Rankin's Jerk Chicken?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, that foundation is level with the ground. You see where the front door is? The front door is level with the ground.
I really haven't taken that close a look, but
I have. And how can the government send people into those kind of places, especially old people and young children, probably just born up until 10, 11 years old? How can the government put people into those kind of places for safety especially when it comes to flooding? And we know that the flooding in Cayman has increased tremendously because of land being filled in where the water used to settle before. So it's causing a lot of flooding in areas that never used to flood before. How can the government send people into those kind of places, speaking of being safer than where they came from? How is it that the government, after so many years being in a place that has a lot of hurricanes every year, and it's only going to get worse? Climate change has caused the sea level to rise higher. Why is it that the government doesn't have hurricane shelters that are at least 10 feet off the ground and that are able to hold at least 700 people in each district. Why is it that all these years, all the concessions that have been given away, the government in Grand Cayman, the Cayman Islands, does not have one proper hurricane shelter?
Well, I think Prospect School fared very well in Hurricane Ivan, because I think that's elevated. The land there is elevated.
Well, the Hurricane Center in Miami has said that the Cayman Islands, when it comes to hurricanes, the Cayman Islands is a bullseye when it comes to hurricanes.
What do you mean by that?
It's what I mean by that it's we're in a spot where it's hard for most of the hurricanes that cross here to miss.
Okay.
And being that Cayman is 24 miles long and 7 miles wide and a low-lying piece of land that could cause some serious sea surge that could probably cover the whole island, like what happened in Hurricane Ivan. But things are only getting worse. So that means the damage can only get worse. Why is it that I don't hear the government making any plans on building hurricane shelters with foundations at least 10 feet off the ground? Why is that?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know. What, 10 feet? That's the safe.
If we had in Hurricane Ivan, if we had water in Hurricane Ivan, if we had water in certain areas like in Georgetown by where that drive through car washes in Georgetown on the road next to
across from the cricket field there.
No, not that new one, the old one, the old drive through close by where Blue Marlin is. Okay. In that area.
Yeah.
If we had water 4 to 5 feet in Hurricane Ivan, and now that the land is more filled in now than in 2004 or 2001 rather, why is it that the government doesn't think that we need hurricane shelters that are at least 10 feet off the ground? Why is it that they don't think so?
Maybe they do and just don't have the funds to do it.
Well, after all these years, like the same example I gave you about Northwood Prison, from 2007, a prison inspector came on and told them it's a disgrace, the kind of prison that the Cayman Islands have to house prisoners. Why is it that from 2007, the government hasn't even probably got a blueprint drawn out for a new prison in Northwood Prison? After all these years, why haven't they put money towards those kind of things? Those people in Northwood Prison, when it comes to flooding, the foundations in Northwood Prison are also level with the ground, except those people who are in maximum that are upstairs. And if you're locked in a cell, and God forbid we have a tsunami, which Northwood is very close to the North Sound. In that area, if a tsunami was to come through there and go through the area in where Northwood Prison is a possibility all those prisoners could be drowned. Why is it that the government hasn't started building a new prison since that man gave them a report from 2007 and also being a fire hazard?
You know,
when it comes to prisoners being able to escape, when it comes to an emergency by pressing one building and all the cells open at once instead of a security officer opening it with the key.
You know, when you first brought that up some time ago, there was a lady who WhatsApped me, and I didn't get to read it on the air, but she pointed out, because there had been callers who were saying, well, prisoners and spending money on taking care of prisoners. And she pointed out it's not just prisoners at Northward. There are people working there that are also at risk. There's civilians and just the regular staff, and they're also at risk for the kind of things like you're talking about, a flood and stuff like that. It's just not the prisoners.
They're afraid to talk. That's the problem. They're afraid to talk because they're afraid to lose their job. Most of them are on work permits anyway. But why is it that after all, in the government talks about planning ahead and talking about having vision to see what could occur in the future and to have these things put in place for the safety of the Caymanian people? Why is it that the government doesn't have all these things, at least a blueprint to say that they're going to start it soon? No, but look how fast Giuliano O'Connor got that blueprint for that $50 million school in Cayman Brack. Look how fast they got that.
Well, listen,
this man.
Listen, I've gone past my break time here. Okay, so I have to break away, but thank you for your call. Let's break, and we'll be right back.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brack and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Get ready for something sweet, spicy, and totally crave-worthy. The hot honey chicken sandwich is here, and it's bringing the heat. We've taken our tender, juicy chicken and drenched it in bold, hot honey sauce for the perfect balance of sweetness and spice. But hurry, this one's only here for a limited time. Hot honey chicken. Try it today before it's gone. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Yeah, what is on your mind? Give me a call. Let me know. What are you thinking about? What's bugging you? We were talking the other day about CUC and solar power, and I see that Offrig has begun the bid for a 22.5 megawatt solar farm, and they've sent out their RFP, the request for a proposal, and let's see what they have here. Utility-scale solar energy and battery storage facility in the Cayman Islands. And so the bidding is on, and I guess CUC will be a part of that, and I don't know who the competitors will be, but maybe we'll get something going here as far as solar energy. And I know from some of our callers last time, one person in particular was saying that solar energy should be left for individual people, that no one should have to actually pay for solar. And each person should be able to put up their solar panels and, get their energy directly from the sun without having to get anyone else involved. And as far as I know, right now in Cayman, if you have a home, you have a building, you have to be connected to the grid as far as electricity is concerned. Let's see what this report here is that I'm looking at here from Cayman News Service. It says in a press release about the bid, Off-Reg Board Chair Sammy Jackson sought to address public concern that the regulator's decision might set back Cayman's transition to greener energy for years, sealing its dependence on diesel for decades and undermining the goals of the national energy policy. In light of recent commentary, I wish to clarify that Off-Reg remains unwavering in its commitment to advance renewable energy in the Cayman Islands. Assertions to the contrary misrepresent both our position and the significant work already undertaken to support a sustainable energy future, Jackson claimed in the release. Let's go to the phone line. We have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Hey, how are you doing?
All right, and you?
I'm excellent. I want to touch on the two things. One is the idea that we should be able to just put solar in our house and not have to connect to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the current law allows you to do that.
It does.
In fact, there's no requirement for you to be connected to CUC at all.
Okay.
You could build a house, and you could, the only reason that you would need to get permission from CUC is if you're connecting to CUC. But meaning like have an agreement with them and, comply with their standards. But the electrical building code is something that once you build your house to that standard and you supply your own electricity, nothing prevents you from doing that right now.
It used to be then.
Except, no, it never
Never was? I thought you could not be independently as far as your source of electricity.
No. No. What you can't do is you can't be connected to CUC and have your own power supply at the same time without getting CUC's approval. Because what happens is when you get connected to their grid, you affect their grid. Mm-hmm. And so they have a right to ensure that you don't destabilize their grid. Now,
right, okay.
How could little old you destabilize their grid? So let's say that you decide that you want solar panels and you're going to put them on your house and you want to be connected to CUC. You're not going to have a generator as a backup. You're just going to have panels to supplement what's happening. That's where you get in a situation where you have to have an agreement with them about that. And the reason they claim that you have to do that is that when the sun is shining and you're getting full load on your panels, you may think, well, I'm getting the power from the sun. But what happens if you get an overcast? The electricity just doesn't gently decline.
Okay.
It has
Listen,
a very
can you hold on and let us go to the news and come back to you? You have time?
I do, but you might want to consider having the news outside of the talk show.
Well, that's not my call. But can you hold on? Okay, thank you. Let's go to the news.
Covering Little Cayman, Cayman Bride.
Cover me. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
News for drivers and pedestrians alike. The National Roads Authority installs 2 new pedestrian crossings. The first on North Sound Road, right across from the NRA offices. The second crossing is on Elgin Avenue in front of the Walkers Building. In international headlines, Russia fired more than 700 attack and decoy drones at Ukraine overnight, topping previous nightly barrages for the third time in 2 weeks, part of Moscow's intensifying aerial and ground assault in the 3-year war. This according to Ukrainian officials today. Russia has recently sought to overwhelm Ukraine's air defenses by launching major attacks that include increasing numbers of decoy drones. In regional news, the St. Kitts and Nevis government says it has received 5 bids from internationally recognized firms for the production drilling phase for the Twin Island Federation's geothermal power project. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew, in a nationwide radio and TV broadcast, said there had been an official opening of the bids and a total of 5 bids from internationally recognized firms were received for the initiative on Nevis. It's a cornerstone of the Federation's Sustainable Island State Agenda. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Freedom, Cayman Rack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and we have a caller who has been holding on. Are you there?
Yep.
Thank you so much for holding on during that break there. And when we broke away, you were about to explain why you have to have special arrangements if you have solar and suddenly you have a loss of power because it's been cloudy all day.
So you have to have an agreement with CUC to supply you with power because they have an exclusive on the distribution, not on the generation of power.
Okay.
So you can generate for yourself, but what you're going to find out is the real reason why people don't just generate power for themselves. And the answer is very, very simple. It costs more to generate your own electricity. It's just that simple.
You don't have the scale.
Right. And so when you find yourself in a situation where you're all excited about getting free solar power from the sun, it comes into really sharp focus that the sun might be free, but the collection and storage of the sun isn't free.
Yeah, those batteries aren't cheap, are they?
That's right. And so you're in a situation now where it's overcast, and there's just a little trickle of electricity coming in from your panels because the sun isn't bright enough. And so that can't power your house. And so you could say to yourself, well, I'm okay with that. Whenever the sun comes out, I'll just wait and I'll use the lights when the sun, use my appliances when the sun comes out. And when night comes, I'll just do without electricity. You could make that compromise for yourself if you want. But I think that most people are at a point where they're going to want to use some power at night. And so they're going to either have to use a generator, which is going to be far more expensive to use, or they're going to use power that they've stored in a battery to supply them at night. Or they're going to get it from CUC. And so it sounds good to say that CUC shouldn't be involved. But where we're at with battery technology, on an individual level, it's not yet to a point where you can just power your entire house from that technology at a cheaper rate. And that's just the way it is. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want people to do that. Oh, and I want to say one more thing before I go any further. I do not own shares in CUC. I have.
Maybe you should.
No. Well, there are other reasons why I won't do that, but that's the second topic I want to talk
Okay.
about. So what we're faced with is you either make compromises in the way that you live, so that the amount of electricity you get from the sun, with the limited technology, you just satisfy with that, or you have an agreement with CUC. Now, I hear people beating up on CUC all the time, like, the cost of fuel, this and that, is too expensive. CUC doesn't control the cost of fuel. CUC just simply passes on the cost that it incurs for fuel. Why is fuel important? Well, you have to first ask yourself, what is electricity? Electricity is the movement of electrons. So how do you move electrons? You need to have a force. And that force comes through a generator. So you need to buy fuel to power the generator to transport electrons. That's why we should pay for the fuel, because without the fuel, there is no movement of electrons. Now, I understand that that the cost of living is high, and I'm going to move on to my second subject. Because I heard you earlier talking about, the quality of life and all that kind of stuff. And, everyone wants more money, wants more pay, right?
Yeah.
Well, the reason for that is because of the way in which governments choose to engage in hidden taxation. So we have governments, when they're funding their budget, they're either doing it through overt taxation that they just declared. Like, for example, they might say 25 cents per gallon for every gallon of fuel imported into the country will be the tax. Mm-hmm. That's overt. We know about that. We know that when we purchase fuel, that portion of the cost is going to government. But then government borrows money too. So when they don't have enough money in their pocket, they say, well, I need to get a loan. But the loan has an interest payment attached to it. And the other way in which government funds things is through taxation. I mean, in covert taxation. And this isn't so much Cayman directly, except for the portion where we have our dollar tied to the U.S. dollar. So whenever decisions are made in the U.S. that affect inflation, whether it's going up or coming down, then that is automatically passed on to us because we're tied to the U.S. dollar. And the other thing is that we buy stuff from the U.S. So whatever inflation impacts their cost of producing goods and services that we may consume gets imported when we buy those goods and services. Right. Well, we have another element. We have the element of the local government's cost on top of that. So we're importing the cost from the U.S., and then we have the cost of running our own government.
At 22% or so that you put on.
That's right. So the cost that pinch that we're feeling like we need more money, that's the hidden inflation. That's the hidden actions of government that causes inflation that we feel but we can't really touch. And some people don't even see how it reaches them.
Well, anytime you order something from Amazon, by the time you finish paying everything, you realize you might even stop and say, is this as good a deal as what I thought when I first ordered it?
That's right.
After you pay Cayman Airways and the package tax and then the 20% duty, and they charge you for insurance, whether you insured it or not. They put that 1% in there for insurance, but you may never have bought insurance. It's not. That's right. It's invisible.
Right, and I have recently I got a quote for US $50 on some computer parts, and the shipping is $230 dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, huh? But that's not the main point of my point here. Is that governments do things that are not well understood by segments of our society, but CUC gets the blame. And so,
well, the big guy is always people like to beat up on the big guy when they get a chance. So.
Yeah, but the bigger player in the room is really the government.
Because they have a tax on that fuel too, right?
That's right.
It's on the bill.
But they touch everything, right? So anything you do in the country is affected by government. And so if you really want to reduce that hidden taxation that's called inflation, now we won't be able to directly impact the parts that we import, meaning we buy goods and services out of the U.S. or other countries that rely on the U.S., but we can affect the local layer. So what we need to make sure that our government is acting responsibly to have a minimum amount of taxation on us, because governments tend to go in and the budgets go up and up and up and up and up. Well, there's partly due to inflation that's being imported why the budget has to go up. But what we don't want is it to go up more than is necessary. And so when you start thinking in along that lines, the question you're asking is, where is government wasting money? And so if we need to look at the waste and cut the waste, and therefore we will affect how much inflation we feel locally. So you can, if you get a pay increase, well, that isn't necessarily going to help you, because you might think, well, okay, I've gotten more, but that has a way of finding its way onto the price tag. Well, it depends on how much and so forth.
People will be getting a pay increase, at least those who depend on a minimum wage level, come January. And we'll see how that plays out.
Well, I'm not necessarily opposed to a minimum wage, but I think if people look to the minimum wage as their savior, they're going to be sorely disappointed because of all what I was just talking about. I think what people should do instead is they should ask themselves, how can I improve myself as a product? And in other words,
to qualify for a better salary.
That's right. And how can I be more valuable to my employer? Or how can I run my own business even better so that it would result in my business expanding? If you're just depending on the minimum wage to save you, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Let me give you an example. You remember the lockdown, the stock market crashed, went down quite a bit. I don't remember exactly what number it went down to, but it was quite significant. And
you're talking about COVID now, right?
Yes.
COVID time. Yeah, go ahead.
And then all of a sudden, the stock market came roaring back and went even higher, and it's still making highs.
Yeah, it's doing well.
Do you know why?
Why?
The difference between people who think that they're going to survive by getting a minimum wage and those who invest is that when you have an investment, the value of those assets gets adjusted for inflation. So the inflation that was caused by governments locking down their countries and all of the money that was printed as a result of businesses coming to a standstill but people still needing to survive, we're now paying for that inflation. Okay, this is why it's covert. You know it's there. You feel the pressure, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Well, that's how we get inflation. And so what happens is when you invest, the value of the asset that you've invested in gets adjusted for inflation. That's why the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer, because the poor is not investing in the assets. The poor is thinking, I need to find a job so I can sell my time and make an income. And nothing's wrong with that.
And the rich buy the stocks when they go down.
And that's when they go down, and it get adjusted for inflation, and they get richer as they get adjusted for that inflation. And so what I'm saying is that what the poor needs to do is they might think you need millions in order to move ahead, but you really don't. What you need is the discipline to say, okay, I'm going to take some of what little I make, and I'm going to invest it in something that will appreciate over time.
Right.
And what you'll realize is that over time, you start to accumulate wealth. Because if you just focus on minimum wage, you're going to forever be disappointed.
Yeah, minimum wage is, you're poor, really.
Yeah.
Listen, I got another caller I want to try and get in. Thanks for calling. Good conversation.
Right,
we have another caller. Hello, you're on the air. Hello, you're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, speaking of the cost of living.
Uh-huh.
And when it comes to the Constitution and laws that they make concerning the Constitution, the laws of the land, I'm pretty sure that there's something in that Constitution that says that the government is responsible for the cost of living in the Cayman Islands.
I don't know if it's
the
put specifically that way. But...
Okay, but I'm pretty sure they're responsible. And if the government looks and sees where the problem is coming from when it comes to the cost of living, such as companies like CUC, which the PPM, when they first got in, signed a 25-year contract with CUC, and a gentleman who was working with CUC just before winning the election.
I think he has said that he was not there, has he?
Yes, he was part of the negotiations. I know that for a fact.
But I think he has said that he wasn't involved in the negotiations.
Of course he would say that. Of course he would say that. And it's also known that people in the PPM have shares in CUC too.
Well, a lot of people in Cayman have shares in CUC.
Yes, but that shouldn't be allowed. People who have shares in CUC or who have been employees at CUC should not be allowed to be negotiating in a 25-year contract with CUC. That should not happen.
You mean that they're in the government and they have shares? Well,
say that again.
That you mean that they're part of the government and they have shares in CUC? They should not be.
Yes, anybody that has shares in CUC and making a 25-year negotiation with CUC who are a part of the government and have shares in CUC should not have nothing to do with that 25-year contract. That is not fair to the people of the Cayman Islands. And when it comes to the cost of living, and CUC is allowed to raise their rates as high as they want whenever they want to.
Well, they have to apply, though. They just can't raise their rates any old time they want to.
No, but when you sign a 25-year contract and give them certain rights, from then, that's where the problem starts.
But I'm pretty sure they have to apply to off-reg to raise their rates. They have to make a case.
Not when the government is in control and negotiating for the contract. Off-rate
But they're
doesn't have anything to do with that.
but they're on a contract now. They have that, right? You're saying that they can just raise their rate anytime they want.
Well, as far as I know, every year CUC raises their rates. And that was part of the contract. And that is a fact. So if you have CUC, right, raising rates every year, the cost of living continues to go up. And then you have the banks, when it comes to mortgages, raising their rates. Then the cost of living will continue to get higher and higher and higher and out of control, that you're going to have a lot of people not being able to afford the cost of living, which the government should be responsible for. The government
cost
should
of
not
living,
allow banks.
The cost of living has always gone up.
The government cannot allow companies like banks and CUC to do as they please. That's why people vote people in, Mr. Glidden. That's why people vote people in, to give them the power to put a stop to the foolishness that is going on. Thank you very much.
All right. The cost of living has always gone up. I mean, if you look at what things cost 20 years ago and what they cost now, it's a big difference. You know, somebody making $3,000 today can't buy as much as what somebody could buy with $3,000 back in 1990. That seems to be just a fact of life. I mean, think back about what gasoline cost, back in the 1970s. I know in the States, you could buy gas, like 25 cents a gallon. You could go with $2 in gas. $2 gas. You go up there, give me $2 worth, please. And you could get a few gallons of gas with $2. Today, you can't even get a gallon of gas with $2, right? So, cost of living is something that is going to keep going up. There's certain things that people can do or governments can do to hold it back, but in a free market, it's hard to control those things, because you got all kinds of forces at work. So you got supply and demand. In our case, we got something called shipping. We supply practically nothing for ourselves. Everything that we go into a store and buy came here on a ship or an airplane. And that's another element that adds on. And like we were saying, you order something from the States, you say, oh, that costs so much less than what I would find it for here in Cayman. And then you buy it, then you got to ship it. You got to pay for the shipping, so you add that on to the price. It gets here, and then you got to pay the customs duty. That's 22% on the freight, 1% insurance, and the actual cost of the item. Now, by the time you add that up, it costs you a lot more to bring that item in from Amazon. Let's see if we can take a quick call. We got less than almost a minute. Hello, you're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes, good afternoon. You have less than a minute.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll try to call back another time then.
All right. You can't wait until the end of the show to call.
No, you're right. Okay, sir.
All right. Well, have a good afternoon.
Okay, all right.
All righty. Yeah, you can't wait until, 2:28 to call. We can't get much in. But we're coming down to the end of the line here. Thank you for joining me, making me a part of your afternoon. And I'll be back tomorrow with more talk today. Have a great Wednesday.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
Talk Today is also brought to you by Mike's Builders. Call 923-0706. Mike Builders. They make it happen.